Alright, everybody. So, we've got some more news about the experimental weapon limit changes, in which we now know this is actually going to come in the form of a module that we install on our ships. And there's going to be two versions of this module. It's going to be a medium class and a large class, which respectively give you 1 extra experimental hardpoint and 2 extra experimental hardpoints. Now, I gotta say, this Skynet article honestly brings me more confusion than anything, because there's a lot left up to interpretation here. There's not a lot of like really clear, concise details on how exactly this is going to work. I mean, it is a Skynet article, so it's not like it's passionate or something, so it's like semi-understandable, but I really do wish it was just a little bit more clear. So again, medium and large modules, this implies that it's a hard point, to some extent. That's generally what we think of when we imply it. When you say medium modules or large modules, we're talking about, class 2 weapons and class 3 weapons, right? Or hard points, I mean. No, I don't, if this is a hard point, I don't, there's no clear, is this going to be a module you install on your hard points, and it's just going to take up a hard point module, and is that module, then that hard point's just going to be, useless? Or, I've seen some people, theorize that perhaps this means you essentially attach an extra hard point to that one module, or like, an extra hard point to that one slot. That doesn't seem very likely to me. Unless these are like limited to one, I could see that getting pretty insane. To be frank, I don't think that'll be how that works. I really hope this doesn't just simply take up a hardpoint slot. Now, the other option is that this is like an optional module, and where maybe I don't, again, with that I don't know what class size, medium or large optional module would be. I would assume it's probably going to be like 5 and 7 is my general assumption. Don't know how accurate that is, and that would be my assumption. That's going to be class 5 and class 7 for the medium and large respectively, right? Now, either way, regardless of how this works, the fact that this is a module we have to install on our ships by default means that not every ship is going to actually be able to take advantage of this and make good use of this, which I gotta say is, frankly, it's really, really, really disappointing. I was really excited about being able to experiment more with experimental weapons and try more janky builds and just have fun with it, right? But now, knowing that this is potentially actually going to be really limited in its use, it sucks. It sucks a lot. Unless that one theory is right, and it's just going to be something you stick to a hard point. You can just stick extra hard points on that one hard point. If that's the case, things are about to get crazy. But that would be silly, right? I don't foresee that happening. There's also one other line here that I saw some people saying implies this only affects human weapons. But I don't really see anything that implies that for certain, right? Both stabilizers support enhanced AX missile racks and multi-cannons that recently became available. I assume this is just clarification that the new weapons do work, as like, a PR statement. I don't think this is meant to imply that only human AX weapons work with this. I think that would be silly. Or frankly, if that is the case, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, and I don't know really how that would work either, but let's be honest, the human AX weapons kind of suck. They're nowhere near as good as the Guardian weapons, and that's just the way it is, especially when you consider the Salvation weapons. They just don't compare, right? So I don't think that's the case. I think people are kind of reading too much into things from that perspective. But yeah, I'm kind of, antsy about it. So we do know that basically they're going to organize a community goal in a couple weeks, or, presumably within the next few weeks, and then these will be unlocked. So I don't think we'll have to wait too long to know exactly how this works. And honestly, hopefully, the dev team actually comes out and gives some clarification on this ahead of time. Because right now I see a lot of people feeling pretty bad about this. I'll be frank, we were kind of all just expecting them to raise the limit. And now, again, this seems possibly extremely limiting on ships that can actually take advantage of this. And it feels bad, right? It feels bad. But I don't want to be too negative. I'll, if it turns out it's bad as it could be, is like, if it's like turns out worst case scenario, I might make a pretty negative rant video about this. Even though I said I don't want to make any more negative videos, but I gotta admit, after how excited I was for the anti-Xeno weapon limit to change, I'm pretty spooked at the moment. hopefully my fears are pointless and things are actually really nice. And maybe they'll be like smaller modules. Maybe they'll literally be like class 2 and class 3 optional modules, right? In which case, easy clap, we're going all in, right? But yeah, that's gonna be it for this video, guys. Let me know how you're feeling about it. How do you think it's going to work? Yeah, I'll catch you in the next video. Until then, take it easy. Have a good one, everybody.